Do you believe that the Bible and science are in conflict? This query sparks a conversation that has been ongoing for centuries. It's a question that probes the heart of our understanding of the world and how we interpret it. It's an inquiry that touches on the very essence of our beliefs, our knowledge, and how we reconcile the two. In today's world, where scientific advancements occur at an unprecedented pace, this question is more relevant than ever. How do we align the ancient wisdom of the Bible with the ever-evolving body of scientific knowledge? How do we navigate the seeming contradictions and find a harmonious perspective? These are not just intellectual exercises, but questions that can shape our worldview, influence our decisions, and mold our society. So, buckle up as we take a journey through time, ideas, beliefs, and discoveries. Let's delve deeper into this fascinating topic. To fully understand this, we need to go back in time. The Bible, written over a span of 1,500 years by about 40 different authors, is a rich tapestry of history, poetry, prophecy, and moral teaching. It reflects the culture and knowledge of the times it was written, which, needless to say, was vastly different from our own. On the other hand, science is a relatively young discipline. From the time of ancient Greece, with its rudimentary understanding of the natural world, to the scientific revolution of the 17th century, and right up to the present day, our scientific knowledge has been continuously expanding and evolving. Interestingly, there were periods in history when religious scholars were also the leading scientists of their time, and they saw no conflict between their faith and their scientific pursuits. However, as scientific understanding grew, certain biblical interpretations came under scrutiny. With this background, we can now explore the main story. Let's begin with the beginning. Creation versus evolution. This is one of the most debated topics when it comes to the intersection of the Bible and science. The Bible, specifically the book of Genesis, describes the creation of the world in 6 days, with God resting on the seventh. It speaks of the formation of the heavens and the earth, the appearance of light and darkness, the creation of plants and animals, and finally, the creation of man and woman. Now let's shift to science. The theory of evolution, proposed by Charles Darwin in the mid-19th century, suggests a different narrative. It posits that life on Earth evolved over billions of years, with species evolving through a process of natural selection. From a superficial standpoint, these two narratives seem to be at odds. The Bible presents a rapid, divine creation, while science suggests a slow, natural evolution. But is this necessarily a conflict, or is it just a difference in perspective? Many individuals, religious and scientific alike, have grappled with this question. Some propose that the Genesis account is not meant to be taken literally, but rather symbolically. They suggest that the days mentioned in the Bible could represent long periods of time, aligning more closely with the scientific timeline of Earth's history. Others argue that the theory of evolution doesn't necessarily negate the existence of a divine creator. After all, couldn't an omnipotent being use evolution as a means of creation? Then there are those who maintain a literal interpretation of the Bible, viewing the theory of evolution as fundamentally flawed. They argue for a young Earth and a direct creation as described in Genesis. These varied viewpoints showcase just how complex the relationship between the Bible and science can be, especially when it comes to the origins of life. Here we see the Bible and science seem to be in conflict. But remember, it's not as black and white as it may seem. Understanding requires open-mindedness, dialogue, and a willingness to delve deep into these fascinating narratives. Reconciling religious beliefs with scientific evidence is not easy. It's like trying to merge two roads, each leading to a different destination. One road, religious belief, tells a story of divine creation, of miracles, and of faith. The other road, science, relies strictly on empirical evidence, rejecting anything that cannot be proven. One of the biggest challenges is trying to reconcile the Genesis creation account with the theory of evolution. On one hand, we have a biblical account that describes the world's creation in 6 days. On the other hand, we have a scientific theory that argues life evolved over billions of years. The disparity between these two accounts is stark and, for many, irreconcilable. Another challenge arises when we consider miracles, events that defy the laws of nature. Science, grounded in those very laws, struggles to accept the possibility of such occurrences. And yet, for many people of faith, miracles are a cornerstone of their belief system. Then there's the issue of interpretation. The Bible, written in a time vastly different from ours, can be interpreted in myriad ways. Science, meanwhile, strives for objective truth, a singular interpretation of evidence. These challenges can seem insurmountable. They can pit faith against reason, tradition against progress. But is it necessary to choose one over the other? Is it possible to hold religious beliefs while accepting scientific evidence? Is there a way to harmonize these seemingly conflicting views? Let's find out. Several scholars and scientists have proposed potential solutions. One such solution is the non-overlapping magisteria concept proposed by Stephen Jay Gould. He suggested that science and religion each have their own separate realms of teaching authority, or magisteria. Science covers the empirical realm, including theories about the universe's evolution. Religion, on the other hand, deals with questions of ultimate meaning and moral value. Another approach is the theistic evolution perspective, which posits that God created life through the process of evolution. This view sees no conflict between the biblical account of creation and the scientific theory of evolution. There's also the framework interpretation, which views the creation story in the Bible as a symbolic framework that aims to set the stage for the rest of the Bible's narrative, rather than a literal scientific account. These approaches help in bringing science and the Bible onto the same page. So, does the Bible conflict with science? This discussion, we've seen, is as complex as it is fascinating. There are instances where they seem to clash, yet there are also interpretations that bring harmony. Open-mindedness and dialogue are crucial in this exploration. It's not about choosing one over the other, but understanding each in its own context and finding a personal equilibrium. So, continue this journey of discovery. Remember, the key is to keep questioning and keep exploring.
We are constantly making new content to help you on your walk of faith. Please like and subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with the latest content.